Hello and welcome back to Loopholes and Lockouts for another week, ladies and gentlemen. How are we feeling, guys? Feeling good? Feeling ready to go? Ready and raring?
Yeah, feeling energized for another good week.
Feeling good for Origin. The run home.
The run home.
How are our teams looking, lads?
Oh,
That's just the trades, right?
Yeah, what trades are we all sitting at? You're at 12, Dan. I can
that's
see.
after. That's after.
Oh, after trades this week. Yep. Okay.
I'm the same.
12 after. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I think I'm 13 after, so.
He's one up on us. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts, though. I know someone here on this table has big plans for next week, so they'll be way behind in a second.
Yeah. Behind or ahead.
Well,
knows?
I guess, yeah. It could be either.
Anyway. Yeah, welcome to the podcast this week. For our main segment, obviously everything else stays as per usual. But for our main segment, we've got some power rankings. So we kind of got that idea of a couple of other podcasts that are doing some power rankings. I think they might have done CTW this week. A couple did 2RF or whatever. We've heard them around the last 2 weeks. So we thought we might give our own crack and our own opinions on those 2RF and CTW power rankings for the run home. So obviously we've done 6 2RFs for the 6 slots and then the 7 CTWs for the 7 CTW slots. But you'll get our opinions. I think we might have some honourable mentions in there, which will align with our pod segment from last week. So that'll be good. But yeah, just keen to get going, keen to get cracking and talking about Supercoach again.
That's it, mate.
We love it.
That's it.
But yeah, we'll crack into teamless as per usual to start off.
Seamless. That's it. Obviously, there's lots of ins this week with all the Origin stars who got rested returning. So for Parramatta, Mitchell Moses comes into the starting side. Riley Smith returns onto the bench as well from his, or is he in the reserves? He's in the reserves. And also in the reserves, Saxon Pryke.
Yeah,
He's
I
not
saw
dead,
that.
fellas. He's not dead.
So there's like a 1% chance he might be in a team list next week.
The magic, if he plays next week, would be unbelievable. For the Rabbitohs, Cam Murray comes back into the side from Origin duty. Otherwise, this looks like basically the same Rabbitoh side to me. Ashton Ward just kind of has this 7 jersey now. Jamie Humphrey's just been kicked to the curb. Yeah, not much else of note here otherwise, to be honest. What a disgraceful Thursday night game.
Yeah. It's like a primetime game, right?
Yeah. This is why they should have flex scheduling. I understand they can't do that for various reasons, but let's just put a good game on Thursday night. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like Dolphins versus Warriors, 3 p.m. on Saturday. Can we just swap them?
Yeah.
Swap them around.
Yeah, I feel that.
Anyway, nothing else to talk about from that game because there's no relevant players. Friday, 6 p.m, Titans versus the Bulldogs. For the Titans, Jalen DeGroot returns to the wing with Jensen Talmapia. Looks like probably out for the season, would be a pretty safe guess. Tino returns to the starting side after his rest from Origin, and Oli Pascoe still starts. But obviously Sam Verrills is still on that bench, so it will be interesting to see how they are utilised. This Titans bench, though, very lightweight. Obviously, they've been using Curtis Morin as more like a middle forward, that kind of like Dylan Walker-esque role. Patson as an edge rotation, and then Cleese Haas. And I know nothing about this Jet Liu, but he seems like a prop of some nature. So I reckon that's probably going to be big minutes for Tino if I had to guess, but looking at that team.
Yep.
For the Bulldogs, Connor Tracy keeps his spot at fullback. Kiro stays on the wing despite looking like he's got half a leg. Josh Curran comes into the starting side with Satili Tupanua out for the next 8 weeks. But there is a wild Jacob Preston who's made his appearance into the reserves. So it seems like he'll be back. That feels like earlier than anticipated, to be honest. It feels like he only got injured like a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts from that game?
Burton in the centres and Stephen Crichton at 6.
That's resuming.
Yeah. What are we doing?
I mean, to be honest, it looked all right last week.
Yeah, I saw a podcast. I think it was Willie Mason's podcast, The Level Up or whatever it is. And they were talking about how Stephen Crichton looked like a 7 out there and Lockie Galvin looked like a 6, and it kind of just made it work. And I was like, well, I can kind of see the vision if that's what they're going to do. Stephen Crichton, obviously Matt Burton and Lockie Galvin play a very similar style, which is probably a more passive ball-playing option, more run the ball than obviously that field general. So if Stephen Crichton can step up, I don't hate it. I think Burton's a good centre, but I think they should have just kept our boy Toby Sexton and then moved Crichton and Burton into your centres. Like, I don't know what they were doing last year.
Probably.
Yeah. Have they got any recruits next year as per like 7 general personnel?
Well, they always talk about this Mitch Woods who's in their in their academy, but I'm yet to see any side of him. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Friday night, 8 p.m, Broncos versus the Roosters. For the Broncos, all the Origin stars return. So Payne Haas back into the starting side. Staggs back into the starting side. Walsh back into the starting side. Adam Reynolds out with that hamstring issue still, even though it was just cramps. So Ben Hunt gets the starting 7 jersey with Thomas Duffy getting the 6 jersey. That's right, because Ezra Mam did his shoulder. Xavier Willison keeps his spot at 13. So it looks like it'll be another big kind of middle-esque role for him. And I believe that is it. Blake Moser on the bench is kind of nice to see. Good to see Blake around the side again. For the Roosters, their Origin stars return as well. I'm not going to name more because there's too many to name. Well, most of them did play last week, to be fair, actually, so it's not that many changes.
Yeah. Savala comes in.
Savala comes into the centres for...
Tommy Talau. Billy Smith slides to the wing.
Yep. And this forward pack looks the same to me, apart from Angus Crichton, who... Oh, no, he didn't play last week either, but that was a late withdrawal. Angus Crichton's now going to miss some time. I believe it was a shoulder issue for Angus Crichton.
I can't remember what it was, but I've heard he could be going for the season, potentially.
Yeah, right. So Nat Butcher starts on that edge there. Anything of note here? Walsh without Reynolds, probably the noteworthy thing.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like Walsh is going to be good for this fixture.
Yeah.
I was always eyeing it up because I was like, if I didn't have to make the trade to, I think I went Hines last week for an extra number because I would have been down one. Yeah, I thought that would be nice to hold him through to this one, just see what he can do. See if I can get a little bit more value out of that trade. And it kind of looks like that might be the way it'll be trending with no Reynolds. But yeah,
I do.
Sorry, no, you go.
I was just gonna say, to support your decision to make the trade though, Dearden's not in the team this week, so you think it's unlikely he'd replace Ezra Mam as that cover on the bench for Origin. So it now means Walsh will miss 18 and 19 again. Because they have the bye in 19. So
yeah, well,
So I don't think you made the wrong decision.
No, I don't even think he's saying that. I think you're just saying this week it would have been a nice little pod, but
pretty much,
it will feel good in the other weeks for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did CY Wong stocks go up? Did Nat Butcher stocks go up? Is there an option in either of those guys now that Crichton's out?
I mean, I feel like Wong's role won't change too much. Nat Butcher, I don't know what he's priced or anything.
He had that one really good game when Crichton was out earlier this year. I think he got 90 on maybe with a try. 457.
I mean, he's a very consistent guy. I think it was this 95 game. Yeah, got a try in there and a line break. He's a good one for base, that's for sure. I just feel like anyone could come onto that edge at any time, though, to be honest.
Yeah, a bit too volatile for the run home, probably.
I reckon.
Well,
Saturday, 3 p.m, Dolphins against the Warriors at Suncorp. For the Dolphins, Hammer returns at fullback. Selwyn Cobbo returns on the wing. Flegler returns at prop. Just all of the guys back inside. And Izzy Katoa back at halfback from his MCL issue. So just a 1 week thing for him. So that'll be good for them back into the side. For the Warriors, I feel like something significant happened here.
Forward drops out.
Yeah, that's what it is. Forward drops out. Barnett starts at prop. This bench continues to look weaker by the week, to be honest. I don't know who this guy is. Khalees Fataya Lofa. Fataya Lofa.
nice one.
Nice. Welcome to the bench, mate. This will be a good experiment this week to see what the Barnett role is going to be now that Ford's out.
Yeah, I was going to say that. And I just wanted to pose a question. Who do you think gets more minutes, Aaron Clark or Mitch Barnett this week?
Yeah,
just as a vibe sort of thing.
Tough one, eh?
But it'll definitely be good to see what happens out of that sort of rotation.
I reckon probably Barnett, but it wouldn't shock me if it was Clark at all.
Logic in my brain tells me Barnett, but it just gut feels like they're just going to throw it on Aaron Clark. Kind of how it went last year a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Barnett might not have crazy fitness because he's obviously been injured all year, and then the boys kind of only using him for a smaller minute role. The Wire's been doing the same because Ford's been ripping and tearing. It could be Aaron Clark for a couple of weeks, but I think out of the whole situation, Barnett will probably play the more minutes in the end.
Well, Barnett still played 60 last week. So
yeah.
Yeah. We'll see, though. We will see. It will probably be one of them. I think that's it there. Saturday, 5:30, Cowboys versus Panthers. Cowboys stick with the same back line, so Jackson Purdue keeps his spot at 5'8", which I quite like for him. And the forward pack looks the same to me. Jeremiah Nanai still back in this side. Jason Taumalolo's got his 300 game this week, so good on you, Jason.
Cool.
For the Panthers, significantly stronger side than the one that lost last week to the Titans. Paul Allen-Motti comes into the centre with Luke Garner dropping out and To'o returning on the wing. Clear returns at 7. Yo returns at 13. And I believe that is the gist of the changes there. Not expecting any shock upsets in this one, I'd imagine.
No. I don't think Cowboys will put up that much of a fight.
Yeah.
Especially off the back of a loss as well. Like, they're going to be feeling that.
Yeah. I have grave fears for this Braden Burns, Tom Chester right edge.
Yeah.
Against this Penrith left edge, to be honest. It's going to be a tough watch this week. Might have something else to do during this game. Saturday, 7:35, Manly versus the Storm. I believe... Oh, yeah, there's a couple changes here. Josh Folletti comes into the centres for Ruben Garrick, who's out with delayed concussion symptoms. Seems like he'll miss at least 1 week, but we've seen with those... Who was earlier in the season? Zach Hosking had that lingered and just kind of stretched on for more weeks than it felt like it should. Ethan Bullimore starting a prop. That doesn't feel right. Who started a prop last week?
Hetherington is also on concussion
Yeah, he's
protocol.
on concussion protocols as well. And Brandon Wakeham is also out of this side. So Jake Simpkins starts at 9, Joey Walsh in at the 14. For the Storm, Joe Chan continues his clinic in the centres. Tyron Wishart comes in at 7 with Jerome Hughes out for, I think it was a hamstring strain, which is going to be 1 to 3 weeks. Obviously, big range that. And otherwise, I think this is the same. Cooper Clark's started in the second row for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard news they're giving a couple of players at the Storm a tap on the shoulder to move on. Like
Generally.
Yeah. So they've said like
Sean
Sean Bloor, Joe Chan, and there was someone else. Oh, potentially Jack Howarth as well.
He was Moses Leo as well.
Yeah. Like
Jack Howard, that feels stiff.
they're doing like a whole clean out. I think they're going to go after couple of big players, but yeah.
Wow. Damn. Melbourne being brutal.
Yep.
Sunday, 2 p.m, Raiders versus the Dragons. It's the big news here. Simi Sasungi returns to the side in the centres.
Huge watch.
Seb Chris drops
Huge
out.
watch that one with Seb Chris dropping out. Otherwise, I think this is the same Raiders side. Still got that Hudson Young, Zach Hosking combo in the second row and no sign of Noah Martin yet. So that one's still probably all good to go for now. For the Dragons, Setu 2 and Tyrell Sloan on the wings. My boy Tuipulotu devastatingly is left in the reserves. I'm the only person sad about that though, so let's move on.
I'm actually happy now.
Nice.
No, I'm not because I wish he played for you, but...
Oh, thanks, mate. Dragons forward pack looks the same to me with Ryan Couchman continuing to boss it. Yeah, looks like the same kind of team to me. What a weird game. 2 stinky sides
Yeah.
having a stink out.
Raiders really need someone to save them, and I don't know.
I don't know
Hopefully
who
that
it
can be
is,
Simi,
unless
but
it's Simi. Yeah.
I've heard that shoulder's been pretty bad, so I don't know how his output looks like, but he's going to drop cash anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got 2 weeks for him to drop cash.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his last score
13,
was.
I think it was.
It was 13. That sounds right, to be
But
honest.
they have the buy in 18, so it'll be like a 20.
Yeah.
Round 20, that is, to look at a pickup, I guess,
Yeah, around then.
for a bottom out.
That sounds about right.
Not
Probably
the-
bottom around the mid-6s, which
Yeah.
is still quite pretty penny.
But not the worst run home either. So
Yeah, Raiders have a good run home from memory, apart from a buy in 26, which is a tad annoying.
That is a bit annoying, actually.
Yeah,
I wonder if that factors into things later in the show.
honestly, maybe. Final game of the round, Knights versus the Tigers. Lots of ins for this one for the Tigers, with Adam Dewey and Alex Chwal returning to the side, returning to the starting side as well. Stafford Toa in the centres. Did you see he signed for Manly in the middle of the week?
Yeah.
yeah,
What an
pretty
interesting
funny.
signing. Just replacing Garrick, I guess. And Gerald Skelton starts on the wing. It's just a constant merry-go-round of Tavana, Lily, Macassini.
Genuinely, hey, because Skelton
Toa,
was out of the
Skelton.
side last week. Macassini off the bench. He ended up coming in and scoring his 35 from the bench somehow.
Madness.
And then I'm just like licking my lips with that Patrick Herbert shoulder dislocation because I'm like, yep, Macassini's going to be a number this week. And for 18, no, he's still on the bench. So that's I'm praying for Skelton. No, I do like Skelton, and I would never pray for an injury. But like, dude, it would be I don't know. I just need Macassini to start for 18 for me.
That would be handy.
Yeah.
For the Tigers, the Origin stars come back in, as well as Jermaine McEwen comes back in at second row. I believe it was just a 1 week disciplinary action there. And I believe that is it. I think that is it for the team list this week. Honestly, quite a lot of changes, to be honest, but I think mostly good ones. For
Yeah.
Lots of Supercoach relevant guys coming back in or just keeping their spot in the side.
Oh, did we briefly chat about Dewey coming back in?
Yeah, Dewey.
Would you even watch that for the run home? I mean, there's not really even a spot there, right?
No.
Unless you want to get really potty, but
No, too competitive.
yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't go back.
He served you pretty well, though. Like,
He
what?
was
You
good
got
for a couple of weeks.
would have got like nearly 300s out of him, surely.
I think it was 2. Oh, no, I think I brought him in for think I might have bought him in for this Broncos game. Yeah, I did. So he got an 82 or 113, and he scored and did his.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that hot, but it wasn't disaster either. What could have been. Anyways, that's team list done for the week. Power rankings time.
Yeah, let's do that. Main segment.
Nice.
All right.
So should we start with our second row forward?
Yeah.
Now,
Ford's the front row, bro. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Jackson
cool.
Ford's the front row.
That's good, mate.
Sorry.
Just because we've got 6 guys here doesn't mean guaranteed we'll have 6 big dog second rowers in our final team. In fact, I think it's probably unlikely that we will. But since there's 6 slots, we wanted to give you the 6 top guys.
Yep.
In our opinion, I think we leave the honourable mentions to the end. To be honest, we should start with the dual position guys as well. We've included, but that might factor into it the fact how much you want them in that position versus another position is how I thought about it, at least anyway.
Yeah, I probably agree.
So based on that, my number 6 to RF is Simi Sasangi.
Nice.
I think he's good. I think I just probably want him at centre wing over second row. But I do think he's great. I think the fact that I still include him in this list, despite the fact that he just missed like a month and a half, is a testament to how good he's looked previously. Yeah. His weapon, his base power is unbelievable, and he's a try-scoring threat, and the Raiders need some spark.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Your number 6?
Ryan Couchman.
Yeah, good
I think he's a keeper, and I think he could easily hold that 6th slot. He just scored 90 on the weekend in like 63 minutes.
Nice.
I think he's honestly a genuine throbber of adoption.
I like it.
Yeah.
DV, I've joined you here. I have gone Simi at 6 as well.
Nice, mate.
I just think, obviously, as you touched on, just the position, I'd rather have him at centre wing, I think,
Yeah.
than second row, but a great option nonetheless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My number 5, Alex Chwal.
Nice.
I think I want him at front row. But if I did have to have him at second row, I wouldn't be upset. He's the best base power player, I think, probably in the game. I don't think that's controversial. No. Just an absolute stalwart. I'm pretty glad I held him for this entire period because now I feel like people are either going to have to go without or they'll be scrambling to bring him back in. And I think that leaves me in a nice little slot there. So, Alex Chwal at 5.
Nice. I've gone with Dylan Lucas.
Nice.
I think he slid down my power rankings in the last couple of weeks. Maybe just other guys have emerged a bit more. I've liked the look of them. I think for me, not to spoil it too much, but Homole's kind of jumped up a little bit for me. Just eye test and kind of him being snubbed from Origin makes me feel like he's going to be better for attacking upside on the run home. I also just like Manly a whole lot more. I just kind of they're growing on me as a vibe sort of pick. But yeah,
nice.
Dylan Lucas has slid a little bit.
Nice, mate.
My number 5, Ryan Couchman. So, yeah,
very nice.
I'd actually put him over Simi at second row. I think he's a great option. And Simi, you can just get a centre wing. So, yeah.
Yep. My number 4, Ryan Couchman.
Yeah,
my opinion on Ryan Couchman has, I mean, I wouldn't say changed, but he's just been so good the entire season. He's 90 on the weekend, and he hasn't gone below 70 since round 10. Like, he's just an absolute demon.
Unbelievable. Play him every single week.
Yeah, you just don't even think. You just play him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I love my boy Ryan Couchman.
Very, very good.
My first true, pure second row on my
nice.
list. Yeah.
Cool. And then number 4, I've got Alex Twal.
Yeah, cool.
So I've got him up above those other 2.
I think it's fair.
He's just solid. You know what you're gonna get from him every week. He's gonna average 76 to 8 on the run home, something like that.
What's the average this season? That's a good question.
85.1. Oh, yo. Yeah.
What a monster. Oh, and that's with these 2 games at the start as well. We was playing these weird roll.
Yeah.
It's actually probably higher than that.
That'll be interesting.
What a
I think,
freak.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I love Chwal.
My number 4 as well, Alex Twal.
Nice. I think it's very fair. Wow. Who do you guys have in your... Oh, no. I feel like I might have missed someone now. Or maybe I've had a shocker here.
Nah, I think you just underestimate one of my picks.
Okay, fair enough. Number 3, I've gone Dylan Lucas. I still think he's a throbber of note. I think they're giving him so much more ball attacking the line this year. He was just always a lead option last year. I know because I owned him for most of last year. He's getting the tries. His base and power has regressed slightly, but his attack is more than made up for it. So I still think I'll be keeping an eye on him for the run home if I can get him in.
Yeah, cool. Interesting. All right. Well, number 3, it's Superman himself, Simi Sasangi. I just like him. I think he's going to lift the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to go on a little bit of a resurgence with Ricky. Like, I don't think they're really going to roll over and just cop these defeats from all these teams. I just kind of like him. I just love the upside, and then that's kind of why I put him ahead of like a Alex Twell and Dill Lucas and stuff like that. I know the value is at CTW, but honestly, when I was just looking at the other guys, I just prefer him over some of these other guys. So I just decided to get a bit potty with it in terms of my list.
I think it's fair.
I also have Dylan Lucas, so to join Dan.
Nice. Very nice. I reckon our top two. Oh, I wonder if this will be the same. I'd assume it will be, to be honest. I've got Hamole at 2. I think Hamole is a throbber of note. I think he is the second best aggressive in terms of attack back row in the game, apart from the obvious number 1, I think. And I think his base power has just been remarkable since Foz has come in. His runs per game are just ridiculous. Even though Manly, I'd say their left side is probably their strongest side, Hamole is their attack on the right side. Everything just goes through him, so I think he'll be getting the involvements, and I'm super happy I got him last week.
Yep, and I've got the exact same.
And same for me.
So number 1, we've all got Hudson Young.
Yeah. I think he's just him, bro. I think I might start the season with him next season.
I think there's a chance.
Yeah. He's actually that good.
He just always finds another gear. Like every year I'm like, oh, he's overpriced. He's not going to be that good. And he just gets better.
That's just his price.
Just the variety of the way he gets points. Like this season, he got a 58 there against New Zealand. He got a 65 there against the Knights. And then he's never gone below 70.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
In fact, he's never gone below 75. So he's just an absolute freak. So yeah, he started the season at 750. Yeah. So he would have been a value play.
Yeah.
He just started with him.
Yeah.
He's an absolute demon. Only issue, I guess, is origin period. He misses a bunch of games through that period every year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Do we want to hit some honorables?
Yeah, I've only got one.
Okay, go for it.
Jacob Preston. I think could be up
Don't
there.
mind. Yeah, that's a good shout.
I think sitting outside Lockie Galvin, if Crichton continues to play 6 and is that field general and Galvin's running the ball more, then Preston might be a bit of a lethal option. Obviously, coming back from injury, he's going to be quite low price. He's 555 with 100 break even.
Oh, my days. And a 5 for 2 weeks in his rolling.
Yeah, so he could be down to like 500 flat, but I think he's a great option if you're running out of money, having to get Cleary, etc. back in.
That is a great option, by the way. That is cheap.
Yeah, that's very good. I didn't even see that, so thanks for the insight, Benos.
No worries.
Mate. I'm going to rock mine. I said Tallis Duncan.
Nice.
Now, you're playing with fire with Tallis Duncan because you never know what position on the field he's going to line up at. But wherever he is, he usually gets good base power.
Yeah.
And then if he lines up in the magical left second row spot, ideally, because I think it looks like Fafita's just on the right now.
Yeah.
So I think if he can get back to that left second row spot, I think he'll be getting points running off Cody Walker. And then my other one, Isaiah Papali'i. This is mainly just the Penrith factor.
Yeah.
I think anyone who plays with Penrith has to get a look at to some degree because they are just probably the most elite side maybe ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, any of their players can score tries and his base power has been awesome. A very consistent minute roll.
Yeah, nice. And then I actually had Tallis Duncan as well.
Nice.
And the only extra point I'll add to yours is it's all but confirmed he's going to get CTW dual on the run home. So that is next week he'll be getting that. I've heard as confirmed by Tommy Sangster himself on his own podcast. Go check that one out if you want. Obviously the official Supercoach podcast. But I'll just pivot and give you another one off the dome. David Fafita. Tallis Duncan scored that hat-trick against the Storm on the right edge, and then obviously maybe moved out to centre. He still looks good on that right centre, I think. So I feel like that right side for the Bunnies when Cody Walker kind of sweeps and plays that second man, kind of that second dual link up with the halfback, whoever's playing there, Ashton Ward or whatever. David Fafita scored his first 2 tries of the season at right second row in his first 2 games back from injury. I think there might be a play there.
Yeah,
555.
I do not mind it. I think his base has not been base power has not been what it was.
No,
Some of
definitely
these games
not.
started the season getting like those kind of run points.
Yeah.
I don't mind it though at all. I think it's a good little rogue shout in there.
I think if you want a vibe pick and you want to be like, maybe he'll heat up. I think the Souths might heat up on the run home.
I think it's a play.
There's a chance.
I think it's a play. Any more shouts there, or are we moving on to centre wing?
Move on
do
to
centre
centre wing.
My number 7, Jermaine Asako.
Very nice.
No, I reckon both you probably have him higher if I had to guess. I still think he is a good option. I think his goal kicking in probably the second best attacking team in the comp is undeniable. His base is just very inconsistent. His try scoring is even more inconsistent, or at least it has been. He's been getting games where he's been getting 70 when he scores a try. For me, that's not good enough for Jermaine Asako. Like, I'm thinking back to, look, some of these games here. We got 98 with a try, 111 with a try. He obviously got the infamous 178 with a hat trick. He just hasn't even looked like touching those kind of regions for the last few weeks. But so that's why he's a little bit down on my list. But I still think he is probably a gun to some degree and will probably be there for me on the run home.
Very nice. And to my number 7, Jermaine Asako.
Nice, that's good. That's good.
Can we continue
Love
on
it.
it? Into my number 7, Jermaine Asako.
No,
I thought I was going to get cooked for that.
No, I think you're right, bro. But I still think he's an absolute premium option. I'm not going to look to trade him out at all. High floor with the goal kicking. Obviously, I think the Dolphins are going to heat up, and then I think he's got another 150 plus in his season this season. Yeah, I think it's coming.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's.
Any more thoughts on Asako, Ben?
I'd just say that I wouldn't waste a trading him out if you've already got him. But if it was me, I wouldn't be looking to bring him in.
Oh, no. Not at 7:30.
Yeah.
Not
too
at
expensive.
7:30.
Yeah, I think there's definitely better options, which we'll touch on in a minute, for similar prices, or maybe just a touch more that I would 1,000% go. Or Mark.
Or a touch less.
Yeah, or just Mark this week.
Yeah, there's other value options. Maybe even you'd look at a Jenkins as well with a 40 break even. But I was actually scrolling through the round ownership change. It was on Monday, so it was like it was probably an hour or two after the lockout lifted, and Jermaine Asako was brought in by like nearly 2% of coaches in the top 10%. I'm like, at 7:30, there's surely other options.
I'd agree.
Well, I mean, I think we're going to touch on it later in our panic buys and sells, but there's a lot of centre wings sell potential this week. So
right.
I think people are just scrambling to bring in whoever they can, whoever they
Yeah,
think's good.
I just think Asako is a solid hold. He's not a buy, he's not a sell, he is a hold.
Yeah.
Number 6, KLRO. Now, my patience is running thin. This is mostly on reputation and the Sharks draw. So the next few weeks, it's not bad, not great. Broncos, Dolphins, Newcastle, Manly. That's, I'd say, average. From round 22, Souths, Dragons, Raiders, Titans, Parramatta. That's probably 5 of the worst 6 teams in the comp, something around that mark. Depends what bunny show up, I guess. But yeah, I think the Sharks players are going to be especially around that period. I think they're still going to be hunting for a top 4-ish spot, or trying to get as high up as they can at least. You want teams that are going to be in the hunt. The Sharks are going to be in the hunt. And with that draw, I think they could be awesome. Nico will be back and fully integrated by then. And I reckon the left side will return to its form. And KL is going to be the main player for that. I think he's a buy this week, to be honest. Oh, sorry, not this week. But I think he's one next week to keep an eye on if you don't own him. Just so cheap for what he could be.
Cool. Very nice. And then at my number 6, I've got none other than Greg the Leg Marju. Obviously had a very down period over the last sort of 3 weeks. I think he scored and got 50 off an intercept, and then scored and got 80 or whatever, and then got his infamous 35, I think.
Yep,
so that was, the last 4 weeks, I should correct myself and say. But yeah, I think he's going to heat up. I've heard a lot of other people have the opinion that he's a top 6 to 10 CTW. 10's quite big, but 6 to whatever it is, CTW for the run home. I probably tend to agree and put him at 6 for me. I think that on the run home, can we get their draw up? Actually, could you scroll down to their draw? Yeah, so on the run home,
It's pretty good.
it's pretty solid. So they've got Tigers obviously this week, Dolphins, Bunnies, Sharks, Roosters, Bronx aren't the same. Canberra aren't good. Titans aren't good. Manly at McDonald Jones. Yeah, so it's probably here nor there, I'd say. But I think when you want genuine high ceiling CTWs, I think Marju's one of the ones you can go for.
I'd agree. And I think the Knights are another team who will have stuff to play for.
Yeah, I agree.
Ben?
My number 6 pick is actually also Kale Ero. So
Nice. Good.
yeah, I think the Sharks draw helps. I think you touched on it brilliantly, and I'll add to what I said before the podcast, which is there's just not a lot of great Sharks options.
Yeah.
So the Sharks just share their points between everyone. Other than Brayley, when everyone will have Grant, Nico, which pretty much everyone will have after next week, and then Iro. I'm struggling to find many more. Ronaldo's a good option here and there, but he also has like a 20 or 30 in him. So I think Kale Iro is just that number 1 player in their back line by like so far to get. So yeah.
I'd agree. Even KL's bad games, he usually goes like 50.
Yeah.
Usually.
Did you want to touch on the exact draw for the run home?
Oh, we did.
I think I might have said it.
Oh, you already said on pod.
I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Let's say it again for people at the back.
At the back.
Souths, Dragons, Raiders, Titans, Parramatta. That's
Just in case
basically
we
all
missed
the
that.
worst teams in the comp.
Yeah.
Cool. Number 5 for me, I've gone with Simi. I think Simi's awesome. I think you guys will probably have him a lot higher if I had to guess, but I've just been seeing the 4 guys above him do it week in, week out for the last month, and I haven't been seeing Simi do it. I still think he's awesome. I will think I'll probably own, especially when he crashes that bit in price. But yeah, I think I'd like to see a little bit more first. And I've just seen it from the other guys, but I do like Simi and I do like the Raiders.
Cool. On to my number 5 pick. I'll just start this one by great minds think alike, and I've got Simi Society. I think so. You said you want him at CTW, and for that reason he might rank higher, but I honestly can't put him above these guys I have above him.
Yeah. Well, this is considered higher to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
But honestly, for the reason why he's probably so low on this list, I want him, and I think I will probably be buying him once he drops cash, and granted he looks all right in this Raiders side. I'm just going with better teams who have more to play for on the run home when I kind of value these CTW guys. And there's probably, I'm going to have to fade at least 2 of them probably. And it's just like, what's that going to look like? But I do like Simi. But yeah, that's kind of the reasoning there.
It's a good point, to be fair. Their season could be done.
It's going to depend what he looks like in the next 2 weeks, I'd say.
Yeah, big watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, I've probably done the reverse of you because I reckon you've got the player I'm about to say, both of you at 4. I'm going to say Jacob Kiraz is my number 5.
Wow.
And that's purely on the fact that the bloke just continues to play through injury. Now, I might be a little bit lower at this stage, and especially given my plans next week on trades, but I think for you guys, you'll eventually get there, having to bring in Cleary, etc. We're all going to be like, I think we worked it out roughly beforehand, Dan and I, that I'll be roughly sitting at 5 trades once I've bought in all my players. If I'm bringing in Kiraz and then I'm just scared for the entire run home he's going to get injured and have to waste a trade, is it really worth it? So it's really a toss-up for me between Simi and Kiraz. Which one is higher? I just think the Raiders would be stupid given the season they're having to rush Simi back, whereas the Bulldogs, like, they're getting embarrassed every week and they're looking for something. So, like, Kiraz playing is probably helping them, like, have a chance in most of these games, especially his impact out of their own end. So, I don't know. I think it's a toss-up, but I just think Kiraz, until he gets through a couple of games and doesn't walk off cramping or injured or...
Cramping.
Yeah, well...
Literally just injured.
Yeah, but, like, literally looks like he's cramping. Like, he has a stiff leg by the end of every game. Like, it's just, yeah. So, he's my 5.
I think it's a fair case. The Dogs are also a candidate for their season could be done before we get to the business end, to be honest. So that's a fair point. You are right, though. I do have Kiraz at 4. I still just think in a bad side, what he's doing is honestly unbelievable. Just
Yeah.
the base power is unbelievable. He's clearly one of their better attacking weapons. I think at any stage as well, Connor Tracy could just get kicked to the curb and Kiraz could go back to fullback. I think that could happen any week. So I think he's great. I think his price, though, might be a limiting factor because, yeah, you're right. The injury risk mixed with the fact he's already 750k might make it a tough buy, but I've absolutely got my eye on Kiraz.
Yeah.
Absolutely got my eye on him.
And then my number 4, I've got none other than Tommy Jenkins.
Wow.
So he's kind of a little bit lower.
Okay.
I guess my reasoning there is like the way he scores his tries. He's kind of made this name for himself as being this formidable aerial sort of threat. Therefore, he doesn't get line breaks. He doesn't get line break assists of his tries and the try assists. So I'm like, I don't know. I've had the eye on him, and just it's kind of like he's got a 40 break even this week. Probably not going to be able to get to him for a couple of weeks. Probably going to be eyeing up Mark in the run home before him. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's tough for me to fit Jenkins in, but yeah.
I think it's a fair point, to be honest.
That means I've probably put one of these guys that you've already set up a little bit higher,
Yeah.
but that'll
I
be
think it's a fair
interesting
point,
in a
though.
second.
I think it's a fair case. He does score a lot of aerial tries. Number 4, Ben?
I've got Simi at 4.
Yeah.
And that's purely on the fact he's dropped below 72 one game this season that he's played. He also had a run of 5 games where he went 95 plus in every single one. So his average is 80.9 with a 13 in there from his
that's
injury.
diabolical.
So, I think he's the better player on his day. I mean, we fortunately grabbed him earlier in the year before he went on that crazy run. I think he could easily go on another crazy run. I'm looking at their run home, and I'm seeing Bulldogs in 19, which you probably wouldn't buy him for. You'd wait till 20, but then they go Souths, Tigers, who have both been struggling. They've got the Panthers, where if you're not confident in him, you just sit him for a week. But that, and then you go Newcastle, Sharks, Broncos, Cowboys, which are all high scoring games. So bar, we've talked about it off the pod. I don't think if we mentioned it on the pod. Bar the fact they have the round 26 bye, which is probably a little bit rough. I think he's a great buy. So he's at my number 4.
Yeah, don't mind it.
Cool.
I think it's fair case.
Very good.
My number 3, I've gone Jenkins here. I just think it's probably the best slot in rugby league, Penrith left wing. Yeah, especially when Casey McLean gets there. Casey McLean has been dishing to him a fair amount, and often sometimes it just kind of skips over McLean. I think Jenkins is, I think he's him. I think it's going to be a very tough watch this week against the Cowboys. But that's just life, unfortunately. I think I've now just committed to letting this 148 drop out of his average. Hope he drops a little bit. And bring him in for around this Broncos Parramatta kind of stint through there.
Nice.
So yeah, I still think he's a gun though. He's a gun.
Yeah, gun of note. Onto my number 3, I've got none other than King Kiraz.
Yeah.
He's pretty high for me and higher than you guys, which is a little bit contradictory because I said I don't really want to touch him again. But I guess that goes hand in hand with the fact that he's limping like almost every game. So if he gets through games and doesn't limp or reduces some strapping on that sort of whatever it is, right leg or whatever, I could really be interested. And I'd say he's ranked this highly because of the nature in which he scores SC points. I talked about Jenkins being obviously not getting those extra sort of attacking stats off the back of his tries and try assists. Kiraz gets it from offloads and power. Like, he doesn't even need to score. Like, he doesn't need the Dogs to score tries for him to get the 90s. It's been such a tough watch over these last couple of weeks, even when he's, for some reason, injured, but he's still knocking out like 90s, not doing anything, and hundreds. Also coupled with the fact he could go back to fullback. Man, if he gets through a couple of games scot-free, he could be coming into my team, I think.
Yep. He's a front rower on the wing.
Pretty much.
My number 3, Jenkins as well. So
Nice.
Yeah.
nice and easy there.
Yeah.
I think we probably should all have the top 2 in the same order.
Yeah.
Second, everyone's got Mark.
Yes.
And first, everyone's got Herbie.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
Man.
I think just the 2 weeks back to back from Mark, returns from injury, goes hat-trick, double, gets 2 centuries.
Does it for the Blues as well.
Does it for the Blues. He's in a mood. I think he wants to leave the NRL in style. And I think, what are we paying from this week? $686. Absolute steal.
Yeah.
I'd also say Roosters are currently on the fringe of a top 4 spot, so they have everything to play for.
They have everything to play for.
Yeah. I think there'll be some teams knocking on that top 4 spot, and the Roosters are going to have to hold them off because the teams above them are just absolutely flying. So, yeah, I think they're going to have everything to play for. And when all their Origin stars come back after Origin, they'll have some solid weeks to put together as a team again. And yeah, I think they'll be flying.
He's played 6 games since round 4 where he's like played the full game, and he hasn't gone below 80 in a single game.
Yeah.
And we can get him for 680k. It is a steal. And obviously number 1, Herbie Farnworth, don't even have to say anything. Same as Hudson Young.
Yeah.
Lovely. Hit some honourable mentions.
Yep.
I'll start this time. I've gone with any Knights outside back. You can go for literally any of them, and they'll probably be pretty good. I think Marju and Brady are probably the best 2 of the 4, just because they're on that left side.
Yep.
I think Dom Young's also a good play, though. He gets involved a lot. And Dane Gagai had a really good game last week. I think he got in the 70s or the 80s or something like that. He didn't even score. Yeah, 76. I think this is with no attack. So
With a couple of line break assists, but no major.
no majors. There, yeah, you're right. So I think any of them are a play. I think I'd probably rank it Marju, Brady. I think they're pretty close together, to be honest. And then Young, Dane, but I think if you want to have a crack on any of them. And then I've gone with the Manly left side. I think Tolutau Kola or Lehigh Hopewade are both good shouts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fair enough. And all I really had was just to follow your sort of suit. Manly outside backs.
Yep.
So you could go that left side. Yarrick's still a play kicking, and then the infamous Jason Saab.
Oh, no, he's not.
I probably wouldn't go there.
Do not go
But the
there.
other 3 I would.
not
Yeah. I gave you the Lehigh spiel last week. He scored a crazy amount of tries. I think it's 10 in 9 games or something like that. Oh, it'd be actually.
More than that
Did he
now.
score 2 on the weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's crazy. But yeah, I'm looking to go there to get a bit more potty. And he's unbelievably cheap. I think he's like 577k. I think this week, something like that, with a small break even. So if you wanted to jump on him and get a piece of Fosball and Turbo when he comes back, I think there's a good chance he averages like 70 to 80 on the run home.
Turbo and Cooler love feeding Lehigh the pill.
Yeah, I agree. I think, if I could just put in one sort of vibe based fact, I'd say from the weekend, it kind of feels to me like they're kind of starting to figure out Kohler and respect him for the run threat he is. So I feel like that opens up more space for Lehigh on the outside.
Okay.
Don't have a huge amount of facts to back that up. It just kind of looked like the winger was biting on the weekend.
I'll back it.
Yeah.
Who was that winger on the weekend? That was the right side, or that was the Kira side? No, they versed the Dogs on the weekend.
Oh, so it was Kiraz. Kiraz is a bad defender.
He's an average. I'd consider him an average defender.
Yeah.
This week, Warbrick, though. Warbrick is not a known defender.
No, he's not.
Ben?
Only one I have to add, I had Cole, I had Greg. They're probably the two premiums out of those two teams, but Lehigh's a good option as well, and as you touched on, Best as well. And the other one I had is Casey McLean when he comes back from injury. I think he's a great option. I think he's got the benefit of if the Panthers start going through the hands on the left edge, he'll get all the try assists. On top of that, he's a try-scoring threat himself, and we know how good the Panthers are. So he was my only other one of note. I mean, I traded him out. I don't think I'll be trading him back in, but if you want to take a bit of a stab and get Potty, I think that's all right.
If you were a current holder, would you hold? It seems like he'll be back in 20 after the Penrith buy in 19.
It would just depend on the team and the
How much they need the cash, I guess,
Well, not even the cash so much, but like if you don't have a way to mark, you're probably going to mark that way. If you need numbers for 18, you're probably going to someone who's playing that way. Like there's a lot of factors, but I mean, if you've held him this long, maybe you could look to do it.
It does feel like a pretty significant step down from some of those top guys.
Yeah.
Like he's had a lot of games this year where he's been around the 40s, the 50s. Yeah. I think if you're a McLean owner, you could probably move to any of those. Like it's basically a sidestep from McLean to Mark, basically. Yeah. So that feels like almost a no-brainer, to be honest. Nice. That's our power rankings done, everybody. Let's move on to the Physio Files.
Absolutely. So Angus Crichton, as we touched on earlier, with a foot injury that was a late withdrawal from the game. He's looking at 6 weeks out at this stage, but it could possibly be longer. There's no actual confirmed timeline. Obviously, we had sad news last week that Latrell Mitchell, obviously, with a hamstring injury, it came out in the end. So,
no, it's calf.
Calf.
Sorry, more than a month with the calf. My apologies. I was getting ahead of myself. Jerome Hughes was the one I was thinking of with the hamstring injury, missing 1 to 3 weeks, as you touched on earlier. Dan, obviously, we talked about the delayed concussion symptoms for Garrick. He passed his HO on the weekend, but then obviously post-game came down with the concussions, and it could be out for, who knows, indefinite outage, basically, with that sort of stuff. We talked on Zach Hosking earlier. I'd also like to bring back to your attention Will Warbrick from last year, who had delayed concussion symptoms and then missed nearly 10 rounds, I think it was, in the end. Surgery for Jackson Ford, so he's out for 10 to 12 weeks with that pec injury, which is really sad to see. Other than that, there's a minor throat injury for Tom Gilbert, which will put him out of this weekend's clash, but they fully expect him to be back in 18. Great. Brandon Wakeham, 4 to 6 weeks with a calf injury. And then, that's about it for this week. Nothing too crazy, actually. A lot of HIAs, though, so a lot of players dropping in and out of teams here and there.
Yeah. Nice. Alrighty, let's go to our panic buys and sells.
I missed someone.
Oh, sorry.
Satili Tupanua out for 8 weeks with a complete hamstring tear.
Yes.
That's the one I missed.
Yes. Yes, good news for Preston, probably.
Yes.
Panic buys and sells. I'm going to start with my first panic buy. Payne the Train Haas. A lot of people are doing this week. I think it's just obviously pretty much from Ford. I will give it a 4. I think it's cool. I think you can do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it at all. I just do think, based on the fact that you get him for 1 week, then he misses 2. His break even, I believe it's in like the 50s. Yeah. So he's not going to go up an awful amount. There's the chance, I guess, he gets injured from now to 20 when you'd want him again.
Yeah.
I think you can probably wait. If you've got enough coverage, I don't think there's a need to force it this week. If you need a number, I think it's probably play on.
Yeah.
I think Haas is definitely, though, one pretty much everybody wants from the run home, especially if you can buy him for $650 or something around that price.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a fine play. I don't think it's a needed play, so I'll say a 4.
Yep. Yeah, cool. Awesome. And I've got none other than Tommy Jenkins. I think he's pretty high on this rating, to be honest. I think he's like... I'd put 7. And the reason I'll give that is I don't love him with Cleary. I didn't love him last week, and he got his, 40 to 50. But he is going to go ballistic this week. So it probably will just average out. But I think when you've got other popular buys, as in like Mark and then other pod options, you could go probably put him at like a 7. But yeah, definitely can't go wrong with the 40 break even. He's one you want for the run home, so it's a good week to do it.
Yeah, it's a scary watch for non-owners this week.
Yeah,
very scary.
My panic buy is obviously Mark Nawangani Tawaze. I think he's a 10. I literally think there's not been a clearer 10. I think he's a great player. The only concern is that he doesn't play 18, which I kind of understand. But he's got the 2 drops out of his average. He's now got a break even of 6, and he's going to be unaffordable. If he goes on a run like Latrell, like Simi did, he's literally going to be untouchable price-wise. So I think you just suck up missing a number for 18 and you just do it for the betterment of your team. Because if you have to nuff out down the line to be able to afford him, you're not going to want to do that. I think you just suck up a number for 18 and you just get him.
Yeah. So my exact situation is if I did Chester to Mark this week, I would have 11 players. Well, 12 including Macassini. You're telling me I have to do that? Like I should do that?
Well, put it this way. I'm trading out Bostock, who's a number for 18, to get Mark, who's not.
Spoiler.
Yeah, but again, like if I'm going to put me with 11 good names for 18, you're saying I should do that? Like, should I do that? Is that just
advice? Well, what
advice?
would your trades be next week? That's also dependent on that. Like, I'll be doing trades next week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm saying if you have a way to get to 12 players next week and you can get Mark along the way, you do it, I think.
Okay.
I think I soften from a 10 slightly and say a 9 because, I mean, if you're already pretty much crippled, if you're like crippled for next week,
But
it's not going to help you cripple yourself.
What would
more.
you say crippled is?
Like if you currently have 10 good players in your team, like 10,
10, yeah.
and you're trading out either a non-player or a player in 18 for a Mark, I think that's a tad aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still honestly maybe look at it, but I don't think it's a complete absolute must. It's not like he's got a negative 60
40,
break
yeah.
even. It's got a 6. So I mean, you can pay more for him next week, in 19 or 20. But I just feel like as well, the issue then becomes there's lots of other players we're trying to bring in around that period. That's the Hudson Young period. That's the Simi period. That's the Cleary period. Yeah. I just feel like this is a good week to pounce on it. And I mean, you maybe take a little bit of a gamble for your 18 coverage. But I think it's a somewhat sensible gamble within reason.
I'm just so disappointed because I think if Macassini was on the wing this week, I'd almost look at it.
Yeah.
But given I can't rely on
tough.
Macassini, like I said before to Ben, it's probably going to leave me with about 11 guys.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can really trade out Tamari Martin at this point, which is what I was thinking of doing.
So. Not this week.
It's just struggle street.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's going to be...
It's only one player. It won't decide your season, not bringing in one player.
No.
Panic sell, Ben?
My panic sell this week is Greg the Leg Marju. Obviously, I know people are doing it. He's one of the most traded out players this week so far. Number 2 by 4.2% of owners. Now,
all coaches?
Yeah, all coaches.
I think it was in the top 10%. It was significantly more than that. Just top 10%, it was 5.8% of coaches. So it's like 1,000 coaches.
Yeah.
10%.
My thinking is he's already lost so much money. We all bought him at a bit of a... Like, we all bought him after that 207 for 700K. He's basically back there now. So you've not actually gained anything from the little experiment. Why would you not just keep him? Like, just sit him on your bench. He's obviously playing 18, which is good, against the Dolphins. It'll be a good game. I'm sure there'll be points in it. But from there, the draw run on the run home is soft. There's going to be points. When Pong is back and firing for the Knights, he'll be very good. And I don't think you can judge it off 2 bad weeks, basically. That's all it is. It's 2 bad 30s. But he has the potential to go 150 plus on his day. So I think you just sit him. If there's matchups you don't like, then you just don't play him for that. But I think most of the time he's just a fine play. If he gets a 30, that's okay. He'll reward you down the track. So, yeah.
Yeah. That average is going to do average things.
Hypothetically, if you had no other option, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you didn't, would you go Marge to Mark?
I was thinking this as well.
Yeah.
Based on your 10 rating.
Yeah, I probably would.
You probably would?
Yeah. Because I think Mark's a fine play every week, whereas Marge can give you bad weeks, but can also give you good weeks.
Sure.
I think Mark just gives you a good week just about every week.
I guess the
It also then depend on your 18 coverage, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess the overlying point is like surely there's someone else you could go to.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
Mark from. Like
I sold Jermaine before I sold Mark, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's cost more, That's a tough question, actually.
I don't know if I'd do it.
I don't know if I would, actually.
I don't know if I'd do it. I'd look at a bow stock if you had money. I'd look at maybe even in Eero if you hate it. But we've talked about the run home.
Yeah.
My only thing with Eero is is there a play in selling him now and then buying him back before his run and
hoping
an extra
he trade, then, isn't it?
He's also just already so low. He's only 600k flat.
Yeah.
He does a monster break even, but you're not really gaining that much.
I don't think that's a ridiculous shout, to be honest. I just think that's then an extra trade invested.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I think he'll be sitting on my bench for a lot of weeks, other than 18, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's also fair.
But yeah, also back to my point, you've got Taylor May. You floated up a Casey McLean to Mark earlier in the show.
Yeah, I think there's definitely players to do before you
definitely
sell much.
Fantastic. And onto one more of them.
Yes.
Tommy Chester is my sell, obviously, for the week. I think he's honestly close to that 10 rating for Ben, for Mark. I think he's done his job, averaging 67 on the year, done absolutely bickies. What did we get him at? 260 or 270? 216.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. That's bottom dollar.
He's gained us 380k.
Unbelievable job, Tommy Chester. Actually, can we just give him a round of applause,
I'll
everybody?
give him a round of applause. That's good. It's a good stint.
Obviously, you two don't own already.
I sold him last week for his actual peak.
You guys sold for the peak. I'm going to be selling for a little bit of a less of a
Still
price
good.
this week. Still good. Yeah. We
service.
always talked about this period being buy New Zealand, Penrith buy. It just made sense. But for me, it just kind of makes a little bit more sense to do it this week. It just had trying to fit in all the Tetris pieces, as to speak. But if I'd put an official number on it, I don't like giving out 10s. I'll probably put it as a 9 because it does matter, team composition and whatnot. Maybe it doesn't really work out for you this week in terms of maybe you've got still got KPP, maybe you still got Ford, maybe you still got other things to do, whatever. But yeah, it is a definitely very, very good week to get rid of Chester.
I'd be willing to say a 10, mate. I think all the buys this week are centre wings, and he doesn't play 18. And
True.
He plays Penrith this week.
Yeah, okay,
I think the stars have aligned.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But yeah, what a servant. He's going to go down in Supercoach folklore as one of the great cheapies.
Yeah.
Along with Ryan Couchman.
We talked about Jackson Purdue last year, us getting off too early. I think he's definitely surpassed that sort of debut year.
Yeah. What a bad time that was. Yeah, he's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
My sell is Bostock. I feel stronger about this than both of these guys. I think it's time to wrap it up. I think his base has fallen. In fact, let me see if I can get to the official stats in time. Just, so we can actually get some physical data behind what I'm saying instead of just yap. Okay, so he was in the base power regions of 50s somewhat consistently, a couple 40s in there, but yeah, back into the 40s for the last 2 weeks. He got a 50 last week with an assist. So he must have had a lot of errors last week. Yeah. I think he's done his job. He covered 12 and 15. He'll still cover you 18, well, sure. But I'm staring at 100 break even here. And I'm like, I'm running out of money to bring in all these throbbers that I want to bring in. I think it's time to depart for someone who maybe is still a useful part of who could still be a useful part of the engine, sure, but can serve a better purpose being somebody else. So I'm going to say, I'll say an 8. No, that's too aggressive. They still play 18. I'll say a 7. I also just think lots of us own many Dolphins outside backs. Yeah. I think he's pretty easily the one to part ways with.
I think, he's the first one.
So yeah, I just think it's a good week to do it this week with all the CTW buys.
Yeah, good. Nice.
Any more thoughts there? Probably not.
Nah, not really.
Let's move on to trades.
Yeah, let's do it.
I am looking at just one trade this week. Bostock to Nwanganita-Wase. Now, this is pretty aggressive because I'm trading out someone who does play 18 for someone who doesn't play 18. I've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 10 players I'm happy to play in 18. And then I've got a Perham, a Brandon Smith, Tuipulotu maybe, Finafuiaki maybe, Olakau'atu maybe. So I'm kind of thinking if I have to make one trade next week to kind of make it all come together, sure. But I should be able to cobble together enough coverage that I'm happy with where I can just take this punt. It's the perfect week to bring in Mark, and it's the perfect week to sell Bostock cash-wise. And I think it's time to start thinking that way when you can, ideally. Yeah, that's it. And then captains, I'm going to go a VC on Herbie. And then the captain will either be Ponga or Terrell May. Obviously, they both play in the same game at the end of the round. So depending on how much I want to take a stab versus just take a safe 90, we'll see how we go. But I think it's a wide open week for captains. Lots of different places you could go.
Very nice. And I've got a very easy move this week, or easy in my mind. Chester out, and then I'm bringing in Lehigh Hopewadi. My pod of pods last week. I think we went over the podcast. Yep. The podcast. Anyway, I like him. And honestly, if I'm going to hot take it, I think he's going to average higher than Jenkins in the next 2 weeks, and I think he's going to average obviously higher than Mark if he goes back to Origin camp or whatnot.
Well, yeah.
Well, obviously he has to buy an 18. But yeah, so that is my little pod option. I'm going to try to get Lehigh in for the run home. Obviously that means I'm going to have to forego some of the guys on our list we brought up in our 7 ranking list earlier. It probably means I'm going to have to forego either Jenkins or Mark until like late into the run home, which is a little bit disappointing, but hopefully aligns with Cash later into the run home. And yeah, just going a bit more, just kind of going at it, just wanting to get a bit potty through this period and really make up some ground before we all kind of get a similar team. That's it for me. I'm going a bit rogue on the VC this week, going for Osako, going for the right edge where everyone goes for Herbie, zigging when everyone zags, if that's the way the saying goes. Yeah. Just because of the goal kicking, I think New Zealand are a bit leaky, even though they are the real deal this year. And then I'm kind of looking at Adam Pompey, not a known defender in my opinion, and then kind of the man outside him, Chan's Nickel Clockstad on that left, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that could be a very interesting price point, and I think if I'm going to have a stab at one of Azako's 150s on the run home, I think this one could be it.
Yeah. Captain?
Kalen Ponga. But I think you might have mentioned before, it could pivot to Terome depending on how my week's going. But I think Kalen Ponga.
Cool.
For me this week, my sell is still up in the air. I need to work out how much money I'm theoretically going to require for next week. I need to sit down and do the maths for that. But it is going to be either Bostock or Taylor May out and Mark Nawangani-Tawaze in. The reasoning behind that, if I go Bostock out, I get about 300k flat. If I do Taylor May, I get about 390. So if I do require the extra money, Taylor May might go. They have the Dragons in 18, but other than that, there's not many other great options. Well,
that's the one game you want for,
exactly.
and then you probably sell him.
So it's like, well, why would I not just get Bostock? I think they have the Knights, which could be equally high scoring in 18. So I'm not too appalled there. VC this week will be Herbie, and captain, I love this guy, Nathan Cleary. So grateful he's back.
Yep.
But yeah, it'll be one of the two, and then Market, obviously.
3 things you can be certain on in life: death, taxes, and Ben not having his trades ready for the show.
It's actually been Dan recently, so I'm not taking that.
Pretty sure the last 2 weeks I've been ready, but no, I'll copy. I definitely had some weeks where I wasn't ready.
I like to look at season average rather than 3 round.
I do also like to look at season average rather than 3 round.
For what?
No, I'll just leave it there.
No, we'll just leave it there. I'm just going to quickly hope that this consensus team loads so we can do our trades live, as we love to do.
Death, taxes, and not having the consensus team ready.
Absolutely. So hold on, this is where Stefano at top, and he's going to be nice. So obviously Ford sits.
Captain Tarpany, nice.
Nathan Cleary. Oh yeah, we still got him. Oh, it's kind of nice to look at the consensus team and be like, oh, we still own him.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, Setu too. We still own him. Okay. We've got basically no money in the kitty.
I'm thinking we
13.
Do we enough forward to get a bunch of cash?
Enough forward and go someone up to
like Ramsey all the way up to some throbber at centre wing.
The Dragons play 18. I think they do.
Yeah, they do.
So that should be a handy number. Playing around 18, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, enough
5,
forward
6,
feels
7,
good,
8,
guys.
9, 10. So yeah, I think we need to probably bring in 1 this week and 1 next week.
So we could do
at least. Yeah, we need to get enough forward and go
Jenkins.
Yeah.
Jenkins
Plays both.
Yep.
Feels so bad not getting Mark.
It does, but I think this is just the reality. I think we want a dual guy who is a dual
Ethan
enough.
Roberts?
I think Miles Martin is potentially Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ethan Roberts has played this year.
And are we thinking Ramsey out?
Yeah. Because Christian could come back.
Christian could come
give
back.
us a number.
And then I'm bringing in Thomas.
There goes all of that enough money. That's crazy.
It's a
We
pretty
still
good.
got
It's
111.
that's a good move though.
That is great, mate.
Yeah.
And then what can this team look like this week? We may not have to play Setu too.
Well, we might because Aero is actually on the buy.
Obviously, res you. We don't really want to res you, but we will if we have to. Res Lasardi. Okay, no, we do have to res him. We've got to res probably Purdue or Setu too.
Yeah, right. No, I think
Who The Dragons versus the Raiders. I don't hate that.
I think so too.
And then captains.
Probably
Captain Cleary.
Yeah.
Captain Claus and
Or
then
VC.
VC, whoever you want.
Jermaine or Herbie.
Jermaine or Herbie. I think we backed your Jermaine shout.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? I mean, I'm pretty happy with the Cleary captain anyway.
Cool. Fair enough.
Bang. Consensus trades on the fly. Nice.
Tips.
Parramatta versus Souths on Thursday night. Ooh. I mean, Parramatta are apparently worse when Mitch Moses plays. So I'm going to go... I'll still go Para 1-12. I believe in Para. Somewhat. Sort of.
Fair enough. I'll go Souths 1-12. David Fafita 100.
I'm also going to join Dan on the Para 1-12. I have faith in the Parramatta Eels.
Nice. Friday, 6 p.m. Titans v Dogs. I am going to go Dogs 1-12.
I'm going to go Titans 1-12. I think they back it up. Titans are hidden up, in my opinion.
I think it's a tight game, this one. Yeah. As the odd state.
I'm going to go Titans 1-12 as well.
Cool. Broncos versus the Chooks Friday, 8 p.m. Suncorp. The Broncos do go good without Reynolds. The Roosters look so good though last week against the Sharks. I have to go Roosters 1-12.
I'm going Broncos 1-12. They keep their season alive with this game.
Fair.
Weiss Walsh 120.
Weiss Walsh.
I'm going to go Roosters 13+. I remember
Wow.
back to a game two years ago where I had a few beverages, to say the least, at Suncorp Stadium, and the score quickly got away from us. So it feels like we have a red hot and sometimes win in Sydney, and then they have a red hot and most of the time win in Suncorp.
No, but this is what you're missing. We won in Sydney. No, we lost in Sydney this year, so we're going to win in Suncorp.
Oh,
Yeah.
true, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Saturday, 3 p.m. Dolphins versus the Warriors, also at Suncorp. Wow. Yeah. I think I remember looking at the draw. There's more games in Queensland this week than New South Wales. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, right.
Because this Raiders game's obviously in the ACT.
Oh, yeah, right.
So it's 4-3-1. That's pretty good.
Nice.
I'm going to go... I think the Warriors as outsiders, like that big outsiders here, is kind of crazy.
I don't.
Value pick.
Yeah, see, this is what the difference between tipping versus betting, I guess.
Yeah.
Dolphins have their troops back. I'll go Dolphins 1-12. Katoa's a big difference.
Yeah, I think Dolphins won. I'm going to go Dolphins 13+, actually. I think New Zealand get absolutely slapped in the face in this fixture.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dolphins 13+ is the way to go. I think New Zealand have enough weaknesses at the moment with a few key players missing. I think they'll get slaughtered up in the heat in Suncorp.
Cowboys Penrith. I'm going to go an unpopular Penrith under 12. I think the Cowboys will turn up for Jason Tomlolo's 300th. That's just a soft factor. I don't know. I think it'll probably be Penrith 13+.
Yeah. I'll go Penrith 13+.
Yeah, I'll go Penrith 13+ as well.
Boring. Manly versus Melbourne. Now, this is a game of football. Oh, they've lost Jerome Hughes, though. That's a big deal. I feel like they can't lose 13+ at this stage of the year, though. I'm going to go Manly 1-12.
Yeah, nice. I'll go Manly 1-12 as well, to be honest. But I haven't looked at what the line is, but Melbourne could
not
be
bad, though.
looking not too bad, actually.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, I'm going to disregard the line and actually go Melbourne 1-12. So
Yeah.
I think Wishart's good enough to do a job. And Munster and Sewer have been on fire. I think they'll just do it again.
Yeah, fair. Sunday, 2 p.m. Raiders, Dragons. Oh, the Simi Raiders have got to get it done. Raiders, yeah, I'll go 13+.
Yeah, nice. I'll go Raiders 1-12. Dragons have shown a bit of fight lately.
Do it.
I never thought these words would come out of my mouth.
Dragons under 12, he's going to say it.
Dragons 1-12.
Yes, lad, that's good stuff.
I think they can do it. I think this is the winnable week.
Only one person at this table can tip the Dragons, so...
Yeah, well, it's going to look bad when Canberra absolutely use the Dragons, but I just like a little bit of a pot option here and there.
Don't mind it. Newcastle versus the Tigers at McDonald Jones, Sunday, 4 p.m. Knights, 13+.
Knights, 13+.
I'm going to go Knights 1-12. I think Tigers have enough troops back.
I think $1.40 is a steal. Knights have all their weapons back.
Yeah, so do the Tigers. Do we?
Tigers get back 12 on Dewey.
Meh.
Yeah, the edges are just so weak.
Edges are weak. Their bench is weak. Their outside backs are weak.
Jeez, I'm actually going to live change that to Newcastle 13+ now that I've actually
What a coward.
Now that I've actually thought about the team, yeah.
Fair enough. Alrighty, so that's done for the week. Any closing remarks, gentlemen? Any final thoughts?
Not really.
No. Nice.
Pretty much covered all of it.
Fantastic. Good luck with round 17, everybody. Make sure we keep your eye out for that Origin team list on Monday.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Well, we don't know what time because, they're never keeping consistent, but yeah.
It just should be an event. Just
should
a
be
TV event.
Everyone says it and they never listen.
What happened to the days when they put it on the Matty Johns show? That was better than it is at the moment.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Yeah, they used to live announce it.
Anyways.
And then Billy Slater cracked the shits and started doing it on a Monday morning.
On your bill.
Yeah.
Anyways, have a good week, everybody. And may your arrows be green. Because mine aren't.